So today for dinner, I was gonna use up my green beans. The only thing I can really think of to make with green beans is my bacon and garlic green beans that I like to make a few times a year. But this time I get to have fresh green beans out of my tiny garden. It's the ones that the deer didn't eat. And so I have a little bit of bacon. I don't really eat bacon very often, so I kind of just split a package into thirds and threw it in the freezer and have this little bit thawed out. Fresh garlic is better, but I don't have any. But I have my minced garlic and some salt will be the green beans. And then I was going to make some ground pork patties with some Greek seasoning. And hope they turn out okay. I'll throw those in the oven. Hopefully they don't get too dry. And I haven't decided if I'm going to make some instant potatoes or have a salad or something with it after that. But I'm going to get my bacon cooking. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, I got my green beans all rinsed out in the sink, so I'm just going to take my trusty kitchen shears and trim them that way, because it's a lot faster than a knife, at least for me. Or you can cut them by hand. They're easy just to pop the ends off, but for speed's sake, I figured my bacon is cooking slowly. I like to cook it slow so I don't worry about burning it. But I still like it to be a little crispy, so the safest way is to just cook it slow. Let it go until the pan gets hot, and then I don't like the little burnt pieces. And naturally, I do the opposite of what I was planning on doing. Do you ever do that? Let's get going. Realize you didn't quite do what you had hoped. It's fine. So I'm going to get all these cut up and then we'll check on the bacon. Hi, finally got my green beans all done. Little snafu putting them in the wrong bowl. And then I have some bacon cooking behind me that needs to be flipped. So here we go. Alright, so my bacon's about ready for a flip, as I said. I had to get a fork. You can also use a pair of tongs. You can do your finger if you're really adventurous, but bacon grease starts splattering, and I don't feel like getting burned. Once my bacon is crispy enough, I'll be taking it out, draining it on paper towels, and starting the slow cook of my green beans. I like my green beans, probably what most people would say, overcooked. I don't like them crispy at all. I like them totally soft, so it takes a while to cook them. I usually steam them a little bit before I start adding seasoning in. I'm going to get going on my little pork patty things now. Alrighty. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing really. I've never done this, but I'm just going to do the same as I do with meatloaf, and I'm not sure if it's too dry filling. I'll probably add a little milk, since usually with meatloaf you add ketchup. And I don't want ketchup in this, that's not the profile I'm going for. So got a little over a pound of ground pork. I've been thawing out most of the day in the fridge. I got from work probably. I don't know if it's all the way thawed out. Good enough. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wash my hands in a second. Okay, I need to break apart. Break apart. I'm gonna do my egg. Clean my hands off a little bit so I can do everything else. I didn't plan ahead very far. You know. It's called cooking for a reason. Alright, I don't know. Yeah. Just gonna go with like a third of a cup of breadcrumbs. Then my all-purpose Greek seasoning. that I like. I was making gyros for a while with it. Probably a couple tablespoons. We're gonna mix it up and see what it feels like. Because meatloaf is, well, you can make a, I know there's all sorts of recipes, but I've always found it easier just to start going. Suppose you could use a spoon. This is, it's definitely faster. It's also really cold because it's still partially frozen. Add a little more seasoning. I don't mind if it's a little over seasoned. I love Greek seasoning, so that doesn't bother me. I don't want it to be really bland because I wasn't going to make gravy or anything. So. Okay, I'm going to mix this up a little bit. Warm my hand up and come back to it and go check on my bacon. Okay, flip the bacon. Washed my hands so my hands warm up. This is a little dry. I'm going to add a little bit of milk. I have lactose-free milk because that's how my family is going right now. Well, I am. And my kid doesn't seem to notice a difference, so. This is really dry. I put like a couple tablespoons in. Just enough to give it a little more liquid. Okay, then I'm not quite sure how big I'm gonna do. I'm thinking of trying to get 5 patties out of it. Think of it like you're making sausage patties, because, yeah, you want them tight, you want them flat so they don't turn tall when they're cooking, because then the middle's gonna get undercooked and the edges will get tough, and no one wants that. Like I can't sprinkle more seasoning on top of it when they're done cooking if I don't think it's enough. I made 6 out of this actually. Holy hell. I didn't realize how much was in the package. Making little. Guess I should have got a bigger baking sheet. Whatever. Bacon's almost done. Should be done about the same time I'm done with this. I'll get it and the green beans all. I have my oven going. I put 325 on it because I don't want these to cook too fast because I really don't want them to get overcooked. Although that's not a whole lot I'm going to take. I'm going to steal some from the bigger ones. No one will know. Right? Right. Not sure what I'm going to do with all these because I don't have enough green beans to make 6 different meals for me, and my kid's definitely not going to eat this. Right now she's eating some leftover steak and cucumbers. So, yeah. Got bacon. The middle pieces are nice and crispy. It's not flat. I know it's not flat. You don't have to tell me it's not flat. Everything goes to one side. I can't fix it myself. I'm pretty sure it's just how it's always going to be, which is fine. But since I'm going to throw this back in, the green beans at the end, I don't really need to make sure it's totally crispy. I just want it cooked and all the fat off of it so I can throw the green beans into it. So we got our lovely bacon. If I was eating it myself, I'd leave it a little crispier. By itself, I mean, I'm gonna have my green beans. Try not to get much water in there, you're gonna splatter yourself. Didn't get a spoon out yet because I'm organized. Got it cooking. I'm gonna these all coated in the grease. I'm gonna slap a lid on it. Let them steam down a little bit before I throw in the salt and garlic. Don't know how long they're gonna take because I've never done garden fresh green beans. I've only done the ones that you get in the bags and been sitting there for forever and a day. So we're gonna pop a lid on it, let them steam a little bit, and check on them in a few minutes. So I got my green beans going. I just threw my pork patty things, whatever you want to call them. I'm pretty sure there's probably an actual name for what I was doing. I put them in the oven at 350, 325, whatever I put them on, for 20 minutes. Ugh, kid. It's never quiet. So I'm gonna go sit down for a little bit until my green beans start going. Okay, it is time to flip my pork patties. Well, I'm gonna... it's not as much fat as I thought there'd be. I was actually afraid there was gonna be a lot of fat. Yeah, about halfway cooked. There's just a little bit of pink left on top. Oh no, ripped up tin foil. Oh well. Guess I'm cleaning the pan after all. I'm gonna check the green beans in a second and see if they're ready to start seasoning. Alrighty, what do my green beans look like? Starting to get, oh yeah, starting to get a little squishy. So I'm gonna get them seasoned up, let them finish cooking with salt, because my bacon's a little old, so salt content isn't as high as it would be if it was fresh bacon. It's been in my freezer for way too long because I had back surgery and then I had a herniated disc and I spent a lot of time not cooking the last couple years. Like my kid cares, she just likes plain food, so I'm gonna put a lot of garlic because I like garlic. 2 big spoonfuls. Yeah. I thought about putting the rest of the jar, but there's still quite a bit in there, so I think that'll do. Get that all stirred up, and then get some salt on it. Cover it back up. Let it cook for a few more minutes after that. Yeah, it might be too much garlic for you, but since it's not fresh garlic, you need a lot to be able to taste it, since I don't have fresh garlic. I rarely ever have fresh garlic, even though I like garlic so much. Because I never feel like peeling them, so. Some sea salt. And pulled out a baggie of instant potatoes because I don't feel like cooking anything else today. Though I haven't decided if I'm going to make garlic bread or not. Probably figure that out soon so I can get that going. Yeah, I'm going to let it cook for a little bit and then I'll taste it. And see if I over-seasoned it, because I tend to over-salt stuff. But whatever, I still eat it. So my green beans are basically done. Yeah, I'm just weird because they're not crisp anymore, so I'm gonna grab one of the ones I know is totally cooked and give it a taste test. I know. Too much salt, not healthy, but I don't really care. A little more salt, and then I chopped up my bacon. It's gonna go back in. That way everything can get all cooked together, because it's still a little crispier than I'd like, but perfect time to throw the bacon back in so it can crisp up a little bit more too. I just added a tiny bit more salt because the bacon will add a bit more salt as it cooks down a little bit more. And that's almost done. My pork patties are almost done, and then I'll figure out what I'm doing with my fancy instant potato. Yeah, I'm done cooking. I don't think I'm making garlic bread. It's starting to get hot, so maybe I'll make it tomorrow morning and have it for my leftovers. So to make my potatoes a little more palatable, I added some freeze-dried chives while it was soaking up the liquid, so those can get a little soft. I have some butter I clarified last year when I was trying to go dairy-free, and I had a ton of butter in my fridge. I still have a ton of butter. It doesn't really upset my stomach as much as actual milk and cheese does. I'm going to get a little bit, a few tablespoons worth, out of my container. And, whoops, my hand's in the way. Get it melted down, give it a little flavor. Added some salt too, because I've never had the Walmart brand potatoes before. They smell a little weird. And I'm gonna add a big handful of my oven's done. My dairy-free cheddar shreds to make cheddar and chive mashed potatoes. Not sure how much. That's way too much. That's fine. It's fine, I didn't touch anything. I didn't want that much, these are expensive. Whatever, about half a cup. I'm gonna stir it in, let them get a little soft. Sometimes they melt, sometimes they don't melt. I don't quite understand the heat. Whatever. And there. Instant potatoes look a little bit nicer, and they smell a little bit nicer. And I'm gonna go check my pork patty so I can turn my oven off because it's getting hot. My tiny kitchen. We are done. I just gotta let everything cool off to the point where I can eat it, and I'll make a plate. Should be pretty dang good. My pork patties, bacon green beans, and my loaded potatoes. Suppose I could have saved some bacon to throw on the potatoes, but you know, I'm probably gonna mix them together anyways. So I'm gonna get a plate done up and sit down and eat. I'm excited. It smells so good. Alright, dinner is done. I have my bacon green beans, loaded potatoes, pork patty. I got some black olives, got a water. I got a movie I'm gonna start over again because I watched the first 30 minutes of the same movie a million times because that's just how my life works. My new cookbook, if anyone cares. Anyone like him? He's funny. But thanks for watching. If you enjoy my random content, you know where to find me. You can like and subscribe if you feel like it. If not, I'll be in the same place. Later.